Here's a snapshot of the situation across Canada today. More than 1,600 new cases have been confirmed, and the virus has now officially reached all corners of the country. Nunavut confirmed its first case today. New Brunswick had another day, the 12th, with no new cases. A number of other provinces also reported no new infections. The bulk of the new cases are still concentrated in Quebec and Ontario. And Ontario had a bad day today. It recorded the highest daily death toll, 86 people in the last 24 hours. Premier Doug Ford says the curve, though, is flattening, and he says he's feeling more optimistic about reopening the economy.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I am laser focused right now on opening things up as quickly as we can in a safe and measured way.
Ford has not set any specific dates for reopening, though, but his government did release more guidance today for how businesses can safely get going. It includes recommendations like installing plexiglass and putting markers on the ground to encourage physical distancing. Until those things happen, many businesses keep struggling and bills are piling up. Rent is due tomorrow. Some say they can't afford to pay. The federal government rolled out a new commercial rent relief program last week. It's supposed to lower rent by 75% for those that qualify, but the organization representing small businesses says not everyone will. They conducted a survey of businesses that reported needing help with rent. 38% said they do not qualify for the program. Of those that do, 9% said their landlords won't participate, so they won't get any relief. Mike Drolet has more on the frustrations as rent day arrives.
In Almonte, Ontario, when Equator Coffee closed its doors for physical distancing, they opened their eyes to a new business model.
We got a new website up and running.
Owner Amber Hall had to adapt, but not enough revenue is coming in to pay the bills. And with 2 Equator locations in Ottawa closed down, she saw the Rental Assistance Program, or CERCA, as a way to save her business. Her 2 Ottawa landlords ultimately agreed to share in the economic pain. But in Almonte, she's a landlord as well. And when only one of those businesses qualified for the program, she had a decision to make.
But the one that's dropped 50 to 60%, it's not going to help them. So thankfully we were able to give them relief anyhow, but not through that program.
It's the details of that program that are causing headaches for Mark Tardif in Courtenay, BC. He hasn't sold much furniture of late, and he's paying rent from his savings. CERCA could be what saves him, in theory, if his landlord agrees. But in practice, the program won't be up and running until mid-May.
I'm really hopeful, but I haven't had a good indication yet from them. They're not. They want to see the fine print, and I don't blame them. And I mean, they're a business too.
I think reasonable people should be working this out in a reasonable way. But as a landlord, you can appreciate that if you've got bills to pay, you may not be able to afford to extend 75% to your tenant.
And many haven't. Smallbusinessincrisis.ca has been unofficially tracking closures. Every province has been affected, but it's when you zoom in on Vancouver and then in Ontario and ultimately the Golden Horseshoe that you can see how many businesses are in peril. The federal government is bullish on CERCA making a difference. It will evolve, they say, but it will take time and cooperation.
And I would encourage Canadian landlords to also act in a responsible way, in a way which is supporting fellow Canadians.
Mike Drolet, Global News, Toronto.